we're actually one short of killing our opponent here, but that's fine, because why kill your opponent when you can just kill all their creatures, right? They do have a second Solitude. Yikes. Okay. Not much we can do about that. I mean, we're gaining more life, but interesting. I guess we could have played around a second Solitude. Not necessarily that I would have wanted to. Alright, guys. We are here for match 5, the 5th and final match of this league, with the list that you see on screen. Currently, we are 3-1, doing pretty well so far. In this league, we've seen the power of Veil of Summer, but we haven't really gotten a very strong Relic of Progenitus matchup, so hopefully we can make use of some of our sideboard choices here. And yeah, I don't have much else to say other than, regardless of whether we end this league 4-1 or 3-2, doesn't bother me one little bit. We're here for the gameplay and the learning and the enjoyment, and regardless of how this match ends, I'll be happy, and so should you. So anyways, I will see you guys in the games. Alrighty, let's hop in here for the match. And while we're loading in, I do want to remind you, if you did not see match 1 of this league, then you're missing the deck tech and the explanation of the card choices and all that good stuff. So if you haven't seen it, then check it out now. I was a little concerned for a second that our opponent might not make it in, but here we are anyways. Playing against Easton MD 21. On the draw. It's okay. We have come back from much worse odds than just being on the draw, so I think we'll be fine. We have the turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Dryad, turn 3 Titan hand, so obviously I'm going to snap keep this. We see a Yorion from our opponent. That's curious. I don't think it changes our decision to keep at all. So, of course, we're going to be playing turn 1 Amulet. Turn 2, we're going to play a bounce land. Float 3 mana from the bounce land in the forest and play and pick up the bounce land to its own trigger. Play Dryad. And then play a land afterwards, like Radiant Fountain or whatever. And then on turn 3, we'll have bounce land, cast Titan. So, yeah. I think it's probably pretty safe to lead on the Radiant here. I don't really see a reason not to, so let's just do that. This upcoming turn, we're going to be able to play bounce land, Dryad, pick up the bounce land, play Castle, probably. And then, even if our Dryad dies, we'll only be 2 turns away from Titan. Oof, Portable Hole. Wasn't expecting this one. One of the newer ones from the D&D set. 1 mana artifact. When it comes into play, exile a non-land permanent and opponent controls with a cost of 2 or less until this artifact leaves the battlefield. That is quite good, to be honest. And, of course, we have a Saga here to just immediately replace our Amulet as fast as possible. Hopefully our opponent doesn't play a Leon and Arbiter, but it is possible. Next turn, we'll probably just be playing Forest and Dryad and another land, regardless of the fact that we could activate Saga for a token, because the 1/1 or 2/2, depending on if we activated it twice, is much less likely to matter. Thraben Inspector. Does this only get creatures? Creature card, 1 or less. Okay, I was afraid they would get a second Portable Hole, actually. I guess that wouldn't matter too much. But yeah, we're definitely just playing the Dryad here. And we can just go ahead and play out Garenbrig, I believe, because next turn we can play Garenbrig and activate to cast Titan regardless, so of course we're going to float with the Saga before we have to sacrifice it, but otherwise we might have considered playing out the Sanctuary and picking up, say, Radiant Fountain or whatever, so we'd have enough green and play to activate Garenbrig, even if our Dryad died, but we don't need to worry about that, so we won't. Don't know that Thraben Inspector does a whole lot against what we've got going on right now, but, you know. Actually, this upcoming turn, we can even play the Sanctuary and leave the white floating, so we can haste our Titan off of a Valakut and a Slayer Stronghold, assuming that we get there, so the Field Ruin Saga. Okay, well, never mind. Horizon Canopy. That Field Ruin doesn't actually slow us down at all. Hopefully they don't have removal for Dryad. They also might crack Ranger on our upkeep here. I guess if they do that, then we just summon his pack in response, so even that doesn't do anything, so. Of course, the Ranger Captain ability is sacrifice it. Your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn, but we can just pack in response and be just fine, so. I wonder what our opponents got here. They seem to be tanking a little bit. Once our Titan resolves, I'm thinking, assuming our Dryad is still in play by that point, it'll probably be right to get a Tolaria West and a Valakut, so that if they have double path for both the Titan and the Dryad, we could still top deck a blue source and be able to potentially transmute Telarios for a second Titan via Summoner's Pact down the line, so something to think about. I kind of doubt they'll have double path here, though. Stoneforge Mystic. Yep, that one's dead. See, both of these creatures, they are dead. And possibly so is our opponent. No reason to attack with a Ranger. Right, we'll draw. Sanctuary. Okay, let's cast the Summoner's Pact. Get Titan. We'll play our first land drop for the turn as a Castle Garenbrig, I suppose. We'll float some mana, activate Garenbrig, play Titan. We're going to be able to get double Valakut and then play a land after. So that would be 4 triggers from the double Valakut plus 2 more triggers for the land afterwards would only be 18 damage. So we're actually 1 short of killing our opponent here. But that's fine, because why kill your opponent when you can just kill all their creatures, right? What's the problem? I don't understand. Now, for real, do we play around double path or like path plus something to answer Dryad? I don't know that we do, to be honest. I don't think we need to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Double Valakut all day long. Get rid of these 2 creatures. Out of play. The rest of the Valakuts just go upstairs for now. We'll say always yes. Always yes. Always yield. Of course. The classic. Cracking the Ranger Captain. A little too late for that one. Not that it would have made a difference before. Here we can just go ahead and slam the Sun home. Send some triggers up at our opponent's face. Swing for 2 with the Dryad because it's free. And yeah, they need some stuff. I guess it might have been right to play out Sanctuary so that we could play Sun home and double strike our Titan regardless, but whatever. Wall of Omens. Oh no, I concede. It's over. I don't know how we're supposed to beat Wall of Omens. Alright, that's game 1. Pretty straightforward, even through our opponent's Portable Hole on Amulet, so it's actually looking pretty good. Against our opponent, who's likely to have Leonin Arbiter and other annoying creatures, we obviously want Dismember. We probably want Explosives as well, depending on how slow our opponent's draw is. Foundation Breaker is good against specifically Vile. That's about it. Like, if our opponent resolves a Stoneforge, it's like 90% to just go straight for a Cauldron, so Foundation Breaker doesn't really make a whole lot of sense there. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have one, but I think I'm good. I'm not really inclined to bring in Ghost Quarter either. As for this matchup, we can trim on Explorers. Not too much, though. The main reason is because they could have Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, to tax Explorer up to 3, in which case that makes it almost unplayable, but as is, it's like, okay. Grazer's great because it chump blocks / just walls our opponent's small creatures while also ramping us, so that's pretty fine. We could consider trimming one, but I'm not super sold on it. We don't need Cavern here. We can keep one as a green source for turn 1 Grazer, but it's not really the best green source for that either. Obviously, we don't need Bog here. Our opponent revealed Yorion, not Lurith. And we could trim a Saga to play around Search Hate. I don't think that's super necessary. We could trim 1 Pact instead. I think I prefer that to trimming a Saga. Although, I guess they could have, like, Disenchant in their sideboard, like Fragmentize or, like, Literal Disenchant, so maybe trimming 1 Saga is defensible here. It also plays better around Leonin Arbiter, so I'm gonna go with this. It's arguably worse than trimming Summoner's Pact, but sue me. We're on the draw again. Let's just get another turn 2 Dryad, turn 3 Titan hand. That would be fine with me. Or, you know, I'll settle for the very reasonable double Amulet, turn 2 Titan kill. I'm fine with that, too. This is an interesting hand. We have Bounce Land, we have turn 1 Amulet, we have a map to set up a potential Saga or something, so, and we even have Explore for redraws, so we're clearly going to keep this one. Pact to set up a Titan if our opponent doesn't have Leonin Arbiter. Yep, and I'm not afraid of Prismatic Ending or Portable Hole or whatever. If they got it, they got it. Turn 1 Amulet, go. And if they get rid of this, we'll play a tap TOS and Expedition map, and we'll be fine. Relic Warder. Interesting. They get to exile the Amulet for as long as they control the Relic Warder. I mean, I guess our Dismembers are pretty good against that, but yeah. And we have Explosives as well. Did we just draw 2 cards? I'm a little confused. I don't know where this extra Pact came from. I don't know, maybe I'm just tripping. I have no clue what just happened. Alright, we'll play the Tularia West, and we'll play Expedition Map, and we'll pass. Because I thought we drew a Summoner's Pact, and then we drew Engineered Explosives for the turn. Like, what happened? I'm so confused. Did I draw this pact without noticing it, and just, like, completely not think about it? Like, okay. Pretty glad that they apparitioned away our pretty irrelevant Expedition Map, because now we can slam Explosives for 2, and then plan to crack it. We can also just Grazer out Sanctuary after floating a green, play the Forest, and explore. And then just play Explosives on 2 and blow it up all in the same turn, if we even decide to do that. I think that's better. And obviously we want to use the Grazer to put the Sanctuary into play here, rather than playing the Sanctuary first, because the Grazer forces the land to enter tapped, which doesn't matter if we're putting in Sanctuary, since it enters tapped anyways, but it matters significantly if we're trying to put a Forest into play, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to play this Explorer. So I've definitely made that mistake. And YorionBlade is a welcome draw, so we actually just have Titan next turn if our opponent doesn't, like, have Leon and Arbiter or something. Interesting that our opponent's playing Saga. I wouldn't really have expected that, but... And given the opportunity, I might just slam Titan, to be honest. We'll go ahead and take a block here, since it's free. So, just casting Summoner's Pact is very weak to our opponent having even Mind Sensor. That is something to think about. I don't know if I want to play around that. Like, the only way to play around that would be to play Explosives on 3 and pass, which does kill our opponent's Skyclave, I suppose, but... I mean, they're probably just going to activate Saga in step here. I don't think we can afford to play around Mind Sensor, so I'm just not going to. If they have Mind Sensor, then we got. Looks like they don't have it. Well, here's Titan. Alright. So now we gotta decide what we're picking here with our Titan ETB trigger. We already have a backup Titan and a Tularia West in play, so that makes me inclined to pick Valcut as one of the options here, so we can get Dryad rolling. We could even just get Garrison as well. It'll give us an additional color for Explosives, and it'll allow us to haste our next Titan once it comes into play. Quite potentially. We could also pick up a Saga here, which wouldn't really be the worst. Saga's pretty defensible, I think. Let's see, next turn we're going to use the Valcut, these 2 lands, and Tularia West, and pay, and be able to activate Saga, and the turn after we're going to get an Amulet into play, and have Titan with Amulet, even if they kill our current Titans, so... Yeah, I guess Valcut Saga is fine with me. They would need something really wild for us to lose to our pack trigger here. I don't even know what they could have. Like, it could be like Tectonic Edge and Damping Sphere. So they could Tech Edge the Castle Garenbrig and then Damping Sphere so that our Sanctuary doesn't even tap for a color. They have Solitude. Exiling Ranger Captain. Well, that's not the one they exiled. There it is. Exile. And Ephemerate. They're exiling our Grazer. Oh no! Whatever shall we do? Yeah, I'm not super worried about this so far. We might need to be worried about the Saga, but... Also worth noting that Saga cannot search for Portable Hold because it doesn't cost exactly 1 generic mana. It costs 1 white instead, which is not the same thing when it comes to Saga's wording in particular. We can use Explosives on 0 to blow up these constructs if we absolutely had to. We have a lot of options here. Springleaf Drum. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. I'm still not really super scared of all of this. Alright, let's not lose the game. Seems like a fine decision to me. So if we want to here... Titan is a nice top deck. If we want to here, we could play Grazer and then play Explosives on 0 and pop it. Just so that there's absolutely no way we're getting punked out by our opponent's combat step. And the next turn we can play Titan with Amulet and play thanks to Saga and even be able to pack for Dryad possibly as well. So I think that it's pretty free to do this. And the Grazer, of course, just being played out as a blocker here. No need to worry about the trigger. We'll play Explosives on 0. And of course we have to pop it now, but that's a price that I'm willing to pay. Just trying to keep our opponent's options very minimal here. Keep in mind, we've been doing all this without Amulet. So, for those who believe that this deck relies on Amulet Vigor, you're seeing first and foremost right here, that is not the case. Although, obviously, Amulet would make it much easier for us to win here, but... I mean, we're doing pretty well. Wall of Omens. Very much not scared of that one. Much like the first time. I tapped Cave of the Frost Dragon, another D&D card. The one that animates into a 3/4 with flying. Okay, well, we'll take our blocks here. Not losing our Grazer for no reason. Don't see a reason for that. Hence why I said for no reason. Alright, let's go to our draw step here. Bounce Land is exactly what I was hoping to top deck. So we're going to float with a Saga. We can play Dryad, play Titan, get double Valakut, play second land. I guess our opponent is holding up Path here, thanks to the fact that Springleaf Drum has the tap and untap creature, and not the Wall of Omens thing. It's not like Wall of Omens has the tap to add a mana thing, because that would be affected by Summoning Sickness, but Springleaf Drum is not affected by Summoning Sickness, and it's part of the cost of Springleaf Drum, not of the creature itself. So they actually can tap for a white here. Interestingly enough, we could potentially activate Saga to make a dude, get Amulet, play Bounce Land, Path for Dryad. We can actually afford to make a Saga token here before we play Dryad and Titan, which I think is probably going to be a good choice, just as an additional chump blocker in case something goes wrong here. Alright, now we'll search. We'll get an Amulet, of course. Play Sanctuary. And we'll pick up the Bounce Land. Of course, we need to play our land first here, so that after we resolve this Dryad, we'll immediately get our second land drop, which otherwise Path might deprive us of. So we'll get Dryad, and we'll play it. And now, if they have Path, they have to answer both the Dryad and the Titan, which seems very difficult for them to do. We'll kill... I guess we could kill the Relic Warder. I don't see a reason to do that, though. Maybe Solitude is the most annoying one. This also plays around them having Ephemerate, since they would have to Ephemerate to exile the Dryad and not to get rid of our Titan. I'm going to go for the Solitude. I think there's enough upside to hitting this one. Path? Yep. Did call that one. Definitely called that one. We'll search for Basic Force, as we have no other option. I mean, I guess we could elect not to search. Not sure that I'm in love with that particular plan. And now we even get to activate Garenbrig, leaving a white floating. If we want to. In all honesty, we might not actually want to get the second Valakut here. We might want the Bounce Land in hand with the Garrison. So I think, even though we have the white floating, I'm going to opt not to go for that. I guess we can keep Bounce Land in hand by picking up the Sanctuary. Nah. I'd rather leave the green in play as much as possible. Second Bounce Land is good to be able to pick up Tolari West and still transmute it, though. I don't know. We could also just pick up Tolari West now. That doesn't seem great. I'll pick up the Sanctuary. Hopefully it doesn't bite us. Haven't done any calculation on it. And again, I think we just want to go for the Boros Garrison here. That way we'll have a Bounce Land to go with Dryad, and a Bounce Land to pick up Tolari West. So, it's kind of the idea here. Garrison, Stronghold. That said, if we do get to attack, assuming our opponent doesn't have a second Solitude in hand, we're going to be able to search for Simic Growth Chamber, so we'll haste here, of course. We can even attack and get double Growth Chamber and pick up a Tolari West, and then our second main phase transmute for Summoner's Pact. They do have a second Solitude. Yikes. Okay. Not much we can do about that. I mean, we're gaining more life, but interesting. I guess we could have played around a second Solitude. Not necessarily that I would have wanted to. Huh. Alright. Well, I guess we pick up Valakut, just so that it can't get sniped by our opponent's, like, Field Ruin or something. And we'll pass. Well, we're not in a lot of trouble here, but we do need to top deck something. A Simic Growth Chamber would do it. A Titan or a Pact would probably do it. They have Yorion in hand. It's fine, I suppose. Giver of Runes. That one's a little annoying, not gonna lie. I will trade off this construct if they were to attack with it. Attack with into it, I mean. If they were to attack into it. I think that we don't need Stronghold this turn, most likely. We top deck a Titan. I guess we could play Sanctuary and still haste. See, if we top deck a Growth Chamber, we play Transmute, leave the green floating by using one of the red or white to transmute, activate YorionBlade, cast it. I guess... I think it probably makes sense. No, we have to tap one more as well, so... I think we're actually just tapping the YorionBlade here. Okay. No, I think it's better to use the Sanctuary so that we can haste if we want to. Okay, this is fine. And it also allows us to still cast a Dryad if we draw a bounce land. We don't. I mean, I think we want to put the Grazer into play at the very least. Still not sure that I want to expose this Valakut, though. Thinking probably not. I don't really see a reason to do that, so... yeah, we'll just pass. We could have hasted and attacked, but... whatever. They're at 25. 4 damage is not going to swing the deal here. The cave is 5 mana to activate. They take 3 to play Emeria, and they're playing Yorion. Okay. Well, they can Solitude away our construct, I suppose, and Skyclave Amulet. That's pretty good. Dryad off the top is still just very, very good. They had to tap their Giver. Why didn't they tap the Wall of Omens to the Springleaf Drum? That would have been way better. The Giver would have allowed them to protect something from Valakut triggers if we top deck Dryad. Oh well. We got a 1/1 Chumper. Okay. They're getting quite a bit of value here, not gonna lie. Amulet down. I still don't think this is horrible for us. Yeah, we don't mind this. Them drawing a card is actually the scariest of these things. Maybe hitting the Amulet is extremely relevant if we top deck exactly Growth Chamber. Alright, we'll untap. Dismember. I mean, killing the Yorion seems like a good choice. Especially while they can't give her runes to save it. So, yeah, that one's gone. Extremely gone. And... I don't think having the extra mana in play matters at all. Let's see, if we were to play Titan, we'd activate, haste it, perhaps. Crumbling Vestige and Vesuva, pick it up, play it as a copy of Vestige. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. That wouldn't be good enough to transmute those, since we would need to play a bounce land to pick up the T-West. Yeah, I don't really see a reason why we should play out the Valakut, so I'm just not going to. Again, I don't think we want to haste here. We'd rather hold it up on the block, so... And they just swing in with everything, huh? Okay. Well... interesting. So, I think what we do here is we double block the Relic Warder with... no... yeah, actually, I guess that works, because then if they give it protection from either blue or colorless, we can Stronghold the other one. And if they don't do anything with the Giver, then we haste the Grazer? We could block with all 3. And then we Stronghold the Grazer, and then if they give pro green, it still takes lethal, and we get the Amulet. I mean, you lose these two. That doesn't seem too bad, though. Getting the Amulet in play is extremely relevant if we top deck exactly Growth Chamber. That's the thought process. This way, no matter what color they give protection, or colorless, I suppose, then we get the Relic Warder out of play and get our Amulet back. That seems like it's probably worth it. Take 5. Yeah, I think this is fine. They put the Grazer in the back, of course. Okay. I mean, we don't have to activate Stronghold at this point. I guess there's no reason not to. I guess activating Stronghold is bad if they have Path, since they would have to give her to protect it from one of these two colors, and then we Stronghold. I guess if they have Path, then we get blown out anyways. Okay, I guess there's no reason to activate the Stronghold here. Okay. We get our Amulet back. Nice. Alright, Growth Chamber off the top helps. Dryad helps. Titan is obviously good. There's Growth Chamber. Hey, it paid off. Our play to keep our Amulet. Whew. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, yeah, we'll pick up the TOS and transmute. We do still have one TOS left. So, getting Titan here and trying to haste it and set up... I guess we can activate Garenbrig, and then Titan searches for Valakut Talari West. 1, 2, 3, 4, activate, haste. Yeah, we can actually get Bounce Land Talari West here. I guess if whatever we're doing here doesn't work, then we're just dead, right? If we play Titan and don't haste it, then we'll have 3 mana. We can get T-West, Simic Growth Chamber, transmute it for Dryad and play it, and then play Valakut from hand. Interesting. And then we're still not dead. Yeah, okay, I guess that's probably the best choice. So our transmute here wants to get Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact wants to get Titan. We're going to not haste our Titan, specifically so we can get Dryad into play as well. We'll activate. Here's Titan. Yes. We'll get Talari West and Simic Growth Chamber. And I suppose if all of this goes through, we can even haste our Titan after all is said and done by playing out 2 lands and strongholding the Titan, so not too bad, not too bad. Oh wait, no, we've already played 1 land this turn, so I guess not. Well, no, but Dryad will let us play... No, we actually cannot. Well, we'll transmute anyways. This is the best that we got, so... We'll get our last remaining Summoner's Pact. Yikes. We'll get the Dryad. And we'll play it. And we'll play Valakut. And I guess we send it at the... I guess we have to send it at the giver, right? Because anything else we send it at will just die. Or will just get protected and not die, I mean. So, doing this stops them from giving pro-green and swinging through our board, I guess. They have Solitude, okay. Well, we played around this to the best of our ability, but... I guess we're gaining 2 here as well. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. Pass it back. We did the best we could. Played around what we could. We're fighting very hard for this game. I don't know where we go from here, though, because we can't use... I mean, we don't even have any Summoners Packs left, but we can't use Talari West either, since those are gone. So it's not like we can set up a Dryad here. Like, the best we can do is give Double Strike and get Radiant Fountain, I guess? Or maybe just Radiant Fountain, Bounce Land, pick it up, replay Radiant Fountain? And try to race? Our opponent is thinking. I guess if they pro-green... They can pro-green one of their creatures and attack with just that. And then try to do the same this upcoming turn. That makes sense. Yep, it seems like they arrived at the same conclusion. Well, obviously we can't block this. I guess our Titan attack, it's a little too late for it to get Urza's Saga, huh? Well, I guess we could get Radiant Fountain and Urza's Saga. We'll have to do some math here, actually, because we might just be outright dead, depending on what we do here, so... We gotta pay some things, so let's do that. No reason to keep Growth Chambers untapped, obviously, since we don't have any Tolarios left. And I guess we just tap YorionBlade at this point? Maybe not, since we can play Sanctuary. Oh, but we don't have Amulet in play either, so... Yeah, I guess we just tap the YorionBlade. I guess we're not going to be able to double strike here, huh? I don't know. Let's see what we top deck. Forest. So if we attack and get Radiant Fountain Bounce Land and play Radiant Fountain in our second main phase, we'll go up to 7. We can haste this. I think that hasting and attacking is the only thing we can really do here. I guess they might just trade out a bunch of their creatures for our Titan, which is probably neutral for both of us, to be honest. I don't know if that's better for them or for us, but obviously we want to say yes. We do have Radiant Fountain. Huh. So we get Radiant Fountain, pick it up, and replay it, go to 7. They chump with the wall, I suppose, or maybe they don't even block at all. It doesn't matter, they just take 8, and then we block a Solitude, and... Oh no, they give her a Solitude to make sure it connects. We block here, and take 3, 4, 5. So we do have to get double Fountain here if we want to not be dead on the counterattack, unfortunately. So we'll get Cruel Turf and Radiant Fountain, I suppose. This stuff. If we could top deck another Titan or a Dryad or, like, literally anything, that would be great. Right, here's Radiant Fountain, pass back to you. It's the best that we got. Ooh, we're at 8 minutes on clock. Yikes. And they didn't take any chump blocks here. It's to be expected. This Giver is mildly annoying, not gonna lie. And next turn, I guess we can do the same thing by getting Bounce Land and Vesuva copying Radiant Fountain. I don't know that it'll be as effective the second time as it was the first. I don't really think we have much of a choice there. I'm a little surprised they didn't trade with our Titan. I think maybe they should have. No attacks? 0, huh? Amulet. That's nice. That's very, very nice. That lets us use Sunhome here. Walk there. Take 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think we need to worry about getting Radiant Fountain here. I think we just attack, get Sunhome and Saga. Double strike it if they block. This is why we got Cruel Turf, by the way, is in case we needed the ability to activate Sunhome here. And we definitely do this. We definitely go to combat and attack. We're not playing any lands first, because at the very worst, we're picking up Radiant Fountain and playing it. Alright, we'll swing. Sunhome is an easy pick. This is the reason why they should have probably still attacked through the Titan anyways, because it doesn't play around us being able to double strike our Titan here if they try to go for a gang block here. So we'll get Sunhome for sure. Maybe Saga is the other one, makes the most sense. I guess we need to pick quickly here. Yeah, Saga seems good. We'll yield to this. And we'll always yield our amulets, as it's unlikely we're going to find a second copy here. Not soon, at least. Alright, we'll see if they want to block. We probably double strike anyways, just because we have all the mana. Man, our Alone Titan is starting to go the distance here. Looks like they're chumping with the Solitude. It doesn't really matter which order we assign, so let's just go ahead and double strike here, because, yes. That's the full reason here. They give her to protect the Solitude, whatever. Alright, post-combat we'll play, I guess, Sanctuary. Pick up the Radiant Fountain, so next turn we can gain some life just by making a land drop. Try to keep ourselves as ahead as possible and pass it back. I guess at any point in time, if our opponent top decks an Answer to Titan, we just lose, but we'll yield here. They do have Ardenvale to make 1/1s as well, and the Cave that has flying, but luckily Grazer can block the Cave, so I guess they needed one more land to animate their Cave, right? Yeah, it's 5. Well, they can do so. Okay. We might just be dead here. I really don't know. I'm just going to go to blocks and see what happens. We block 2 of these, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're dead exactly. Yikes. I mean, I guess we needed to copy Radiant Fountain instead of getting Saga. I don't know. Very close ordeal here. We'll go to sideboarding. Okay, so our opponent is playing Saga. Didn't expect that, and it looks like they're not playing Disenchant, so our Sagas are very good, and Ghost Quarter is probably decent as well. Explore doesn't look too bad here either. Grazer is medium. I think that would be fair to say. We don't want the Cavern. Breeding Pool's fine. We could maybe trim a Garenbrig, but I'm not super in love with that idea. I guess we can trim 1 Garenbrig, 1 Summoner's Pact. Although, nah, Pact actually seems really relevant here. Maybe we just trim the map. I don't really love that, though. We could trim the Misty Rainforest in case our opponent is playing Arbiter. I don't think having the fetch land is going to be relevant for Dryad purposes in general. We're going to be playing around removal so often that trying to set up a lethal line with the fetch land is unlikely to be relevant. And I guess maybe we can just go without one of the Explorers. Seems fine. Is it better to have Ghost Quarter? I think it probably is. Is it? Yeah, I guess it probably is. We'll submit. That was a very close game. Really fighting hard in this last match here, huh? Yeah, I think the mistake that was made in that game was not thinking about their manland, because I had kind of written it off when I read it before and was like, oh, they only have 2 other lands. So I just kind of pretended like it wasn't there in my mind, and then I realized, oh, if they top deck a land, they can activate this thing, and then they had exactly lethal. So we'll hit yes here and be on the play. Try to play fast here. Our opponent's revealing Yorion, perhaps? Yep. We get turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Explore, turn 3 Titan, possibly, if we top deck a Garenbrig. I think I'm willing to try it. They mulligan to 6. Lead on Saga here, of course. I mean, I guess leading on Forest is not particularly weak to Leon and Arbiter, and it lets us get multiple tokens out of Saga if we want them, but I'm not really worried about it. Thraben. That's fine. Saga. Alright. I mean, I guess we can explore into that one in case we don't have anything to do this upcoming turn. That way we can activate for a token. We have Dryad, never mind. Alright, we'll play the Growth Chamber, we'll pick up the Forest, and we'll pass. Field of Ruin. A little late on that one. Stoneforge Mystic. Interesting. Cauldra. Okay. Take our 1. We'll float with the Saga and sack it here. If we draw a Grazer, we actually have Titan this turn. What was happening? Okay, there we go. It's just being slow. Oh, I guess we can play Dryad, land, explosives on 2. No, Dryad, land, explosives on 2, blow it up. That seems very good. Alright, we'll sack for this. Get Amulet. We'll play Bounce Land. Yield to Amulets. We'll pick up the Bounce Land, play Dryad. Play Sanctuary, play Explosives on 2, blow it up, so our opponent can't clock us with Cauldra. And we have Titan next turn. Pass it back. I guess our opponent can Field of Ruin a Bounce Land here to stop us from playing Titan, but, I mean, whatever. Flicker Wisp to hit the Bounce Land. Okay, that's annoying, but it's livable. It's way better than them. Is it better than them fielding it? I think it probably is. Solitude. That one is very annoying, though. They exiled a Stoneforge Mystic, it looks like. Okay. They're on the fast plan, huh? Alright. I guess we're just playing... Ooh. Yeah, we're playing Saga and Amulet here. Now, any +1 ramp spell is going to be... No. Even Dryad here will be lethal, since we'll have 4, leave 2 floating with the Saga, 1 from the Growth Chamber and the Saga itself, to play Dryad, then play Bounce Land again, and we'll have Titan, so... Any ramp spell will do it here. I guess they can still Field of Ruin our land, but... whatever. Are we supposed to force them to Field of Ruin? I think probably we are. And if they don't field, then we just activate Saga to make a construct. Interesting. Once the Saga goes off and we have a 3rd Amulet, then a single land just casts Titan, so there's that. Radiant Fountain. Alright, I'm going to force them to use a field here. We'll hit 5, so we're not yielding to our own Amulet triggers. See if they let it go. Alright, so we just get to yield through this turn here. Pick up the Forest, I suppose. I don't know if 4 minutes is going to be enough, y'all. I'm starting to think that I might time out here. Maybe they'll just cast something and not hold up Field of Ruin. Hey, there we go. It looks like we might have gotten what we asked for. I think we probably have lethal here, even through our opponent's potential path to exile, so... Let's see if they swing all. They get Maul. Okay. Oh, they have another field. No. Okay. Oh, but they're not using it. Whew. Oh, they Flicker Wisp the Flicker Wisp, and then I guess they're going to Flicker the Saga? Yeah, this is rough. This is probably unwinnably bad. Alright, well, we can play Dryad this turn, which is not nothing. We'll play Radiant Fountain to try to buy a little bit of time, and we'll hit 6 and pass through this turn. We're done. Yeah, we're still quite a ways behind here, though, I would say. We get our Saga back, which is nice. Totally forgot that was even going to happen. I kind of just assumed it was gone forever. Very easy to get caught up in little details like that, though, I suppose. Cauldra. Yikes. And there's no way we're blocking this Cauldra with Dryad. It's just not happening. If we draw a second bounce land, we have Titan mana here, even through Field of Ruin. Even if it's a Garrison, because we can play the Garrison and use these two to float a green thanks to Dryad, so... This is not a match that I would have wanted to play at this speed. I guess that's maybe how we got to this point in the first place, huh? Our opponent's taking their time to tank. They're starting to catch up to us on time. Interesting. They do not attack with the Inspector. Do we block this? I don't think we can afford to. Go to 3. Alright, second bounce land. That's what we want. Second bounce land. Valakut. Not really doing it. I guess we can make a chump blocker, though, so... We'll play out Valakut here. Just so that our opponent has a nice, juicy target for their Field of Ruin, I suppose. I think we don't activate our Saga until the last second here. Although we can't yield through the turn, unfortunately. This one does have Trample, right? Oh, we're actually just dead to the Flicker Wisps. Alright, well... see what they're going to do here. They're activating Field. Alright, let's just go ahead and sweep it up. We're dead to the Flyers. There's no way we could cast Titan that turn anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. Well, we ended up 3-2, and I'm actually pretty satisfied with that, so let me know what you think about the list in the comments below. And one thing I will say is I actually think that just playing Veils is really good right now. I think Relic is probably well-positioned as well. We just didn't really get paired against a whole lot of Ragavan / DRC matchups, so I don't know. Let me know what you think, if you have any experience playtesting these cards. And also let me know if you have a suggestion for the league next week. I'm not 100% sold on what I'm going to be playing, but I do have some ideas. But I'd like to hear your ideas, so drop them in the comments below. Yeah, the last thing I want to say is, if you're not already subscribed, then you should do it. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah. This is Red Face Menace. Signing off.